Hey everybody, it's Reckless. So today I will be bringing you part 3 of the Taken King Enlightenment videos. Now all the information I'm about to say was taken directly from the Destiny Year 2 reveal that was done earlier today. If you haven't seen the reveal, I have already done a video for it and I will put that in a link in the description below. So let's start off with a few confirmations plus a few additions. You will start the Taken King on the current level. However, do not dismantle any gear or weapons you currently have, because if you are not level 34, the game will determine your level depending on all the gear that you have. As we all know, level 40 is the max level of the Taken King. When you reach level 40, you will have access to better gear that you will only be able to wear at level 40. The new light leveling system is an average of all of your equipped gear. Emphasis on equipped. This includes your ghost, which will be moved to your character UI screen, and any gear, weapons, and items that you can equip, like in the artifact slot. Again, as we know, the Taken King ghost shells and class items now will have a light stat, but they also have stats like discipline, intellect, and strength. However, both class items and ghost shells also have perks that do different things. Ghost shells can find material items or help boost reputation. Stats like discipline, strength, and intellect will now have a tier system that tells you your cooldown times in seconds. We will be getting an upgrade of 16 bounty slots. Those bounties will be faded out, and once they are completed, they will be filled in with the corresponding colors and a confirmation that it was completed. You can also track bounties. However, you can only track 4 bounties at once. In the Taken King, you will now be able to hold up to 32 quests at one time. Each quest that you have shows you what you need to do in order to complete it, and the rewards you will get for completing it. The boost consumable that Bungie has been talking about that every Guardian will receive when the Taken King comes out is called Spark of Light. And as I speculated, it will boost your level up to level 25. However, if you make a completely new character, then you'll have to do the beginning tutorials before you can receive the Spark of Light. In the Taken King, you will now have the option to see your character's natural face in the UI, and you will be able to show off different weapons in social spaces by just pressing the button that switches weapons. Emblems, shaders, ships, along with a few other items, will now be stored in terminals across the tower called collections. These collections show the corresponding items that you have found, and you will be able to delete them and reclaim them from the collections. New items that you don't have will tell you how to get them by hovering over the grayed out item. However, this new feature does not apply to the exotic terminals, from which I would go over later on. When you go to a faction to declare your allegiance, it will cost you 2500 glimmer. Faction bounties are a thing, from which we already know. Points granted from the Vanguard and Crucible will also go towards your faction. You will only be able to change your faction once a week. Faction material exchange will give you faction reputation. You can receive faction specific quests when you reach a new faction level. Faction gear gives defensive perks as well as offensive. Faction packages will give you a guaranteed legendary. When a faction shader or ship is acquired, it will be taken out of the rotation so you won't get multiples in a row. Also, there are new faction ships. The top picture is the old Future War Cult ship, and the bottom one is the new one. When the Taken King is released and you actually head down to Lord Shaxx, he will give you a Crucible quest. He will have weekly bounties, and if you complete all of them, he will give you one last bounty, and when that very last bounty is completed, you can earn Nightfall rewards. The Crucible Quartermaster also has bounties as well. Some of the vendors in the Taken King, like the Speaker or Lord Shaxx, actually have new ghost skins. so keep an eye out for those. As we do know, Vanguard and Crucible marks are being replaced by Legendary marks. Legendary marks can be shared between all of your characters. The Legendary mark cap is 200 that you can hold with you, but after you spend some, you can keep getting more for the week. So there is no weekly cap on Legendary marks. However, on day 1 of the Taken King, all of your Vanguard and Crucible marks will be converted into commendations, which the Postmaster will have for you. When you dismantle or shard the Taken King legendary gear, you will get legendary marks for them. However, this is not the case if you actually use those legendary items to infuse. And I will explain infusion a little bit later on. Next, we're actually going to talk about exotics. There will be new terminals in the Hall of Guardians for exotic blueprints. On the left is the exotic weapons terminal, and on the right is the exotic armor terminal, as if you are looking towards Lord Shaxx. Some of the Year 1 exotics will be available in a Year 2 version. Year 2 exotics that transfer from Year 1 will get an increased attack and newer perks. The majority of Year 1 exotics will have a 160 attack and defense for weapons and armor, except for the Necrochasm, which will have an attack of 172, and the Purifier robes, which will have a defense of 170 on a Warlock. Now, whether there's other gear for the other classes that actually have that same stat of 170, I am not sure yet. Year 2 exotics will start at 280 attack and defense, whether that's armor or weapons. Any Year 1 exotics can be repurchased for 1 exotic shards and 2500 glimmer. Any Year 1 exotics that are available in Year 2, you can buy for 125 to 150 legendary marks. Year 2 exotics have a starting attack and defense of 280, but requires level 40 in order to equip it. So real quick, I'm actually going to go over a list of confirmed Year 1 exotic weapons that will transfer over to Year 2. And those are the Last Word, Soros Regime, Red Death, Invective, Thunderlord, Truth, Monte Carlo, Bad Juju, Hawkmoon, and the Fourth Horseman. Now, confirmed Year 1 exotics for the Warlock on armor that will be transferring over to Year 2 are the Light Beyond Nemesis, Obsidian Mine, and the Void Fang Vestments. Now, those are only ones that we actually seen in the reveal or in the actual reveal trailer. However, there possibly could be more. In the Taken King, Master Raoul, the Cryptarch guy, will now be able to sell legendary engrams. Now, real quick, let's briefly brush up on the Gunsmith. Everyone in the Taken King will start with a 0 reputation with the Gunsmith. You gain reputation with the Gunsmith by field testing weapons and quests that he gives you. Arms Day is every Wednesday, which is the day after the weekly reset. All Foundry weapons will restock every week. The new Soros weapons have perks that will let you customize it how you want to use it. For example, you won't have to use Focus Fire on a Year 2 Soros Regime and still fully level it up. So let's get into infusing real quick. Infuse is the replacement system for Ascension in Year 2. What Infusion does is it takes a higher piece of gear and dismantles it so that an equipped lower piece of gear can get stronger. In order to infuse, you need 250 glimmer, 10 weapons parts, 1 mortal light, and 3 legendary marks. This may change with different weapon types. However, infusion has limitations, which are dismantling another piece of gear that must be unlocked, not currently equipped, and of the same year and gear slot, a similar quality, and must be a higher level than the gear you want to infuse. Once all those requirements are met, you can infuse a weapon that you actually want to upgrade. And for the last bit of news, we're actually going to talk about the vault. So the vault space has been enlarged enormously and is organized into its own tabs. Weapons and armor now have 72 slots, where the general still remains at 36, and that's only because we will be transferring a lot of the things that we have inside the vault to the collection terminals. And the last thing that I want to mention is that there are new dancing emotes. Now, whether the new emotes are just dancing ones, I'm not entirely sure. I hope they actually do more than just dance. So this concludes the part 3 of the Taken King Enlightenment videos. Let me know what you guys think about the video in the comments below. This is Reckless. I will see you guys later and enjoy the rest of the video.
Zone B lost. Heavy ammo on the way. Zone B secure. Finish them. Heavy ammo available. More efforts like that, and we might just win this.